and welcome. I'm Pia, and you're watching NewsX World special coverage of the Interparliamentary Union in Geneva. This is the 151st edition. With me at the moment is Miss Lena Gumniar. She's a parliamentarian from Germany. Thank you so much for taking our time and speaking to us on NewsX World. At the outset, I wanted to understand from you that the IPU hosts 183 member nations over and above 15 associate states as well. How do you view this as a platform for encouraging dialogue as well as democracy?
I think it's a great platform to talk about democracy and human rights and how to uphold these human rights, because we live in a time of multi-crisis, a lot of armed conflicts in the world. It had risen from 30 armed conflicts in the past to now 120. So it's even more important now to seek contact, to talk to each other behind the barriers of political parties, and to come together and work together on these resolutions like we did in the past days. I cannot stress enough how important this is for us.
Absolutely. You've spoken about human rights, and I wanted to understand from you then how can we galvanize support for human rights? You've mentioned there are 120 ongoing conflicts. Statistics point that 310 million people are in conflict zones right now suffering. So how can the world then come together to help these people?
Yeah, and the situation will even worse when we look at how many people will be displaced by the threat of the climate crisis. So we have to come together now, because we're already like in a state where it's kind of too late, but now to see or to seek a global understanding of how to take care of these people who lose their home and who have to flee is more important than ever. So the first thing that is important to have a common ground, and that we do have with humanitarian laws and human rights, but also to say, okay, what does it mean for us as a country, for us as a world unity to act on these laws, and how can we work together, and how can we support each other. And I think for me, being someone from the global north, it's also important to listen to the people coming from the global south, because they're dealing with these problems right now that we will be facing in a few decades. So I think it's a lot about listening and learning.
Indeed, and speaking of issues such as climate change, I want to understand what is Germany doing to mitigate this, and what are the best practices that countries can adopt from Germany, and that Germany is also looking at learning from other countries.
So I'm from the north in Germany, and we do have a lot of wind. So we work a lot with renewable energies, with wind energy, and we had to learn the hard way how it is to be dependent on countries who change, and how to become independent in a very short amount of time. So that was one thing that we had to learn, and we put a lot of effort to become totally renewable and to work with renewable energy. But what I think we can learn is, for example, when I look at Sweden, there the energy is very cheap where the energy is produced. So, but for Germany, the energy prices are quite the same, whether you live in the north or the south. So I think we can make it more easy to people to be happy about renewable energies, because I think that is something that we still need to work on in Germany, to have like this overall acceptance in the society that renewable energy is the future.
Indeed, and speaking of the future itself, we do know that we're living in a digital age today. Artificial intelligence has permeated our lives as well. It's a double-edged sword. There is a boon because people can get access to information that usually takes days or weeks to research in a jiffy. But at the same time, there are concerns about deep fakes as well. So how do you think then IPU serves as a platform for parliamentarians to come together to chalk out frameworks for addressing AI, because we can't do away with it. It is here to stay.
Exactly, and I want to point out one more thing. We sometimes think that algorithms are neutral, but they're not, because they're produced by humans, and humans have like racist tendency or particle tendencies that also take part in these algorithms. So the first thing is that we all have to also have these common grounds that algorithms are not neutral and AI is not neutral. And then we have to face these challenges together, because in a digitalized world, country borders don't play any part. So we have to see how can we work together in terms of prosecution of crimes that take place online, especially in deepfakes. And also we have to acknowledge, and I'm happy that the IPU is very straightforward on these topics, that women are even more affected by, for example, deepfakes than men are. So I think that is like the main part that we have to cover here.
Absolutely. And do you think that AI also poses the risk of creating a new digital divide between those who own the hardware and the models and the rest of the world as well?
Yeah, definitely. And this is what we're seeing at the moment. So I'm very happy that, for example, the European Union sees this conflict that we're having at the moment and sees that we have like this great unregulated field that we would never allow in any other field, but as it's taking online, or that we have like these tech bros, how we sometimes say, that have a lot of influence because they're very rich. This is not the world that I want to live in. I want to live in a world that's fair and transparable, so that we can, or transparent, so that we can see what's happening online, that we see how those algorithms work. And I think we have a lot of work to do there.
Also, what is your view on India as a country, since I'm from there?
Yeah, I love India because I have friends there, and we just chatted before about that, and I've been a few years ago to a wedding in Chennai, and I loved it so much, and ever since I've been there, I want to come back, and I want to go to the north as well, because it's such a diverse country, and I think being in the south is totally different experience than going to the north. So I would love to come again because I love the people there, the hospitality and the food. So I really hope I can come again anytime soon.
All right, lovely speaking to you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking our time and speaking to us on NewsX World.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.